Hello, quilty friends. Welcome back to the studio. Tonight, we are going to pin baste a quilt. All right, so as you're hopping in, let me know if you can hear me okay. And I can't do that. There we go. Okay. So I have my phone set up so you can see closer up when I start to pin. Let's talk about basting a quilt. So I used to always spray baste my quilts, and I was having a lot of difficulties machine quilting them. I do a lot of my I thought I had this muted. I do a lot of my quilting, most of my quilting myself on my Janome M8. So I was having a lot of difficulties with the quilting portion. It would like gum. I think the spray base was gumming up and it was making my needle stick. And stuff like that. I'm sorry. Let me turn that. Okay. Couldn't figure out where that was, but now I know. So when I was moving my sewing studio, I found this tool. It's called Quick Clip. It is a little gadget for fastening pins when you're pin basting a quilt. And I couldn't figure out what it was for. I'm like, why do I have this? I don't even know what this is. Then I happened upon a tutorial and I was like, oh, that's why I have that. Because when I started quilting, I pin basted my quilts. So, first things first. I determined my quilt size by using a website called Quilter's Paradise. I will link that in the description below. My best tip for you when it comes to Quilter's Paradise, save it to your desktop, or you can download it to your phone. When you get it pulled up on your phone, you should be able to find a button, maybe like 3 dots or something, and hit add to home screen. So I literally have a quilting folder on my phone, and it has all my quilting apps and things that I need. So Quilter's Paradise, you can put in your measurements for binding, backing, batting, borders. It has all kinds of features. Highly recommend it. I love it. It's the only way, I'm not a math person. It's the only way I can figure out what I'm doing. So I got that determined. Went ahead and I got my backing piece. You can see here, I sewed it together and I pressed my seam open on that just so it gave it a nice flat finish. I did press this the best I could. Press my back, especially since I'm using white. I have a white background. There's a lot of white in my quilt top. So I'm just going to make sure there's no threads. This is one of your best tools for your sewing studio, is a lint roller. I have a very generous amount of overhang. When you're taking things to a long arbor, most long arbors I have spoke to recommend 4 inches around. I give myself generous just to make myself feel better. Right there's some thread. So you just walk around. Make sure you get all the extra threads and stuff off, especially when you're working with white, but I like to do it with anything because I don't want to see anything or feel a bump. Backing fabric is pressed. I highly recommend not to baste on carpeting or on a bed. I have had horror stories from that. I quilted a quilt for a friend that I had worked on, and I had to go through and rip it out because it was so bad that I didn't baste it on a hard surface. So it wasn't smooth and flat and stable. So this is my cutting table. It is a butcher block top. Before I had this in this studio where I could actually get around all the sides, I would set up 2 tables. My husband always helps me. This quilt top's fairly small, so I should be able to do this one by myself. But when I've done bigger quilts, my husband will help me. We'll set up 2 we call them break room tables, plastic 6-foot tables, butt them together. Then we'll do it all there like that. Hi, my quilt bestie. My quilt bestie Katie's on. She says, I shouldn't even tell you guys this. She says, hi, Mander. That's the nickname her and my husband and her husband have given me. That's so funny. So we're ready to start. I got this laid out, determined my size. And I got white batting for this one. Since everything is I could just use this as, oh my gosh, this is so soft. I'm loving it. So let's get this laid out. Woo! I'm going to cover you up for just a minute. All right, and I'm going to have ample of this, which is fine. I save all of my scraps. They're great for table runners, wall hangings, mug rugs, pot holders, little projects. So I save all my scrap batting, and I definitely reuse it. So I'm going to be walking around, flattening this out. So you might see me disappear for a minute. I'm still here. Now I don't want to pull because I don't want to pull on my backing fabric because I have it nice and smooth. Now, if you have I do iron batting if needed. If I have super wrinkly spots, I will run an iron over it. I will piece batting if I need to. For smaller quilts, I will forget what somebody called it the other day. I'll have to ask Sean I think he called it like Frankenstein or something like that. I'll have to ask Sean what he called it. All right, so I think I'm smooth. Looks smooth. I think we're smooth. Feels good. That's my seam. All right. So some more tips. This is a fairly small quilt. It just hangs over each side of my table just a little bit. Now, if it was a larger quilt and it hung over a lot, I would move all of this to one side and I would painter's tape and tape it to my table. And then I would work on that area and then I would move it towards me or whichever way. I've also seen where people use swim noodles. I have not tried that yet. I might link to that video. My friend Beth Ann has a great video on basting. Speaking of Sean, hey Sean, what did you call it the other day when we were talking about piecing batting together? Is it Frankensteining? Something like that. And we're gonna go up again. Oh, I just found a thread reappeared. Okay. This looks really great. So this quilt, little story about the quilt I'm working on. Franken batting. Thank you, Sean. Now, when I did that, it gave me a little wave in my border. So I don't want to get too I don't want to stretch things out and distort my straight lines. So I'm just gently getting the air out. Franken batting, that's what it's called. I have done that for table runners. And yeah, and sometimes I will press that seam open as well, like I did on my backing fabric. So just come around. Need a close-up shot of me. Okay. Looks really good. A little pucker. I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking. Let's see. I don't want to distort my lines. Okay. The batting, I am using 100% cotton batting on this one. Quilter's Dream Cotton. This is a twin size batting. And I'm going to have a little bit left over, but like I said, I don't mind. Leftovers are great for small projects. So this quilt pattern is from 3-Yard Quilts on the Double. These 3-Yard quilt books are really great for beginners. Super quick, easy patterns. This one is Stellar. That's the pattern that this is. I am making this quilt for a local family. They just lost their wife and mother to cancer. After 3 short weeks of finding out she had cancer, she passed. And she was a really big part of our local community and quite a advocate for so many different charities and organizations. And she just did so much for so many people. And they're having an auction to raise money for medical costs and stuff. So I made this quilt to donate for the auction. She passed of cervical cancer, and that color is teal. That's why I chose this color, and I just love the way it turned out. I love paisley, so I really like the fabric. I'm not a super fancy quilter though, so I probably will just do fairly simple meander all over in white thread. I think the white will look nice, and then it'll pop on the teal. So Kelly's favorite saying, the lady that passed, was "be kind." And I found this fabric at our local quilt shop, and I just thought it was really appropriate for this quilt. It says, "Love in every stitch, live your dream, laugh with abandon, pay kindness forward, be worthy of the friendships you are, be a loyal and steadfast friend." It just had all these really cool sayings. And knowing Kelly, I've known her for many, many years. This is just so fitting for the kind of woman and person that she was and the great heart she had. So, and I have this left, and I think I'm going to use this for the binding as well. So have that left. And I think we are good and smooth. Here are my pins, and I'm going to start in the center and work my way out. I am actually using pins specifically for quilt basting. They actually have, I don't know if you can see this. They actually have a little curve in them. And if you are interested in any of the supplies that you see, make sure you check my Amazon storefront. I'll have the link in the description below. I have these tools linked in there. I have a lot of the things that you might see in this video in there. Excuse me, this is so far away. Hello, Agnes. Yes, Sean, I love the curved pins. What's funny is, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I've had this for over 10 years, and I found it, and I'm like, I don't even know what this is for. And then I was like, oh yeah, I've had these pins for that long too. I forgot that I used a pin base when I started. So here's how Amanda does things. Amanda grabs some pins. And she just drops them all over. Try not to drop them on the floor. I just drop them all over. Now, a lot of these are closed, and I try to always keep them open. I'm always the kind of person that's like one less step. I have the quilt pins, but haven't used them yet. Yeah, you'll have to try them, Katie. I know you like to pin base too, and they're really great. And those are all stuck together, so we're not going to fight with that right now. But yeah, I like to always keep them open. I just one less step. I always think, So, I like to kind of spread them around. Now, what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll just put the pins in. Go through, put your pins in wherever you can at the time. Work where you can until you need to start moving it. And then I'll show you how to use I'm not going to sit here. Now, I will be mindful of how I'm going to quilt. The last quilt I did would have been a great tutorial for this because I quilted a 4-patch and I just quilted an X in all the 4 patches. So I pinned so that I didn't have to actually move any of the pins, and it worked beautifully. This, I will just try to be really mindful of my meandering, and I may have to stop periodically and move a pin. I haven't had bloody fingers, though. They're always open. I just go in and grab them. Sean's saying, might have bloody fingers if you keep them open. I haven't yet. So I'm just going to, and I can feel the table. And then I'm going to stick that in there. I would say I'm probably going to do, I'm not very technical. I'm not like, you have to measure this many inches. I'm like, hands width. I probably put one in the center of the square. Maybe every few inches. I'm not a real technical person, so if you're looking for structure and technicality, I'm not so sure. We'll just go till I feel like I can quilt this nicely, and kind of doing these corners. So is anybody working on anything, or are you just watching along? You know, sometimes people are working on a project too. Sean, are you sewing tonight, or are you just relaxing after work? No, I just laid on that, and now I puckered it up. Ooh, Katie's making pinwheels? You don't have band practice tonight, Katie? Just watching along. I might sew later, Sean says. So my friend Katie that's watching is, if you ever hear me refer to my quilt bestie, that's my Katie. We get together at least once a month and sew, but we talk sewing and quilting all the time. Our husbands love it. They love us. Ouch. I just stuck myself. Oh, geez. Injury. Oh. See, now this is not something I could really help, but I'm going to go in there and pick it up. I had a little bit of a blue thread, and it was very noticeable. So I'll kind of keep an eye on that. No practice this week. Good deal. Well, I'm glad you can watch me live. I know you're always trying to. Yay. So I got to get this done into the family by the 16th. So this is going to be what I work on the next few days. I don't know how much time I'll have this weekend. I'm kind of busy. So I'll probably work on it Saturday morning and maybe Sunday evening and try and I want to get it done by the end of next week so I can get it to the family in time. And I need to do a quilt label, which I don't really do quilt labels, so I need to get some advice on that and how to go about making one. I have a Janome that does letters. So see if my friend Andy hops on or anything. I'm gonna have to ask her because I know she does a lot of labeling. Sean, do you do quilt labels? I got another blue thread. I really want to be able to label it. I got a thread sticking up here. I just lost it. Did you see that? I just threw that thread on the floor. That's why they make sweepers. Right? I'm all over the place with my pinning. I'm okay with it. The last quilt I pin basted just a few weeks ago worked beautifully. So I'm really excited to quilt this and not have any issues because I quit using spray based. So I got to get up here close because I have my laptop. That's funny. My Amanda, Sean, my friend Sean that's on, his wife's name is Amanda as well. So he's like, my Amanda designed a label for me, and then I had it printed on a yard of fabric on spoon flower. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out, Sean. Because anybody can get on spoon flower, right? That's exciting. I was just thinking about spoon flower today. Not that I want to design fabric and stuff, but I do have some ideas, and it's like I don't think I'm there yet to where I want to do that, but it is on my radar. I'm going to pin a little bit in the borders. Every few inches. You have Katie. Katie, I have ordered on spoon flower. Huh. I'm going to have to check that out. I would love to get some labels made. Somebody asked me the other day, I was at a quilt shop, and she's like, I was showing off quilts, and she's like, how are people going to know what that is and who made it? And I'm like, I don't know. So I'm going to have to check that out so I can get me some. Yeah, you could order. Yeah, Katie said she's ordered from Etsy. Yeah, I need to get something. I want something special on this quilt. So it's not something I really have done. So I don't know. I really don't know if I want it handwritten or if I want it typed or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that all works. I could upload your design and have it print. All right, well, I'm going to have to look into spoon flower. The reason I thought of that today is I was listening to a podcast, and she had started out on spoon flower doing stuff. The lady I was listening to, so I'm going to check that out. Okay. I'm actually going to start. I want to show you how the quick clip works. How about we shut these before we spill them? Okay. All right. So, I'm going to move my mouse. Okay. So I've got some loose pins here. We'll leave those in a pile. Okay. So I like to move my body. So like I'll walk around and do what's easiest for me. So I got my clip underneath the pin. Sorry, this is not a real techie setup here. So come around here and see if you can see one closer. Hi. All right, let me see if I can move my phone. I don't want to make anybody nauseous or anything, but we're going to go for a ride. I'm going to work right here. Here's the pointy part of the pin. I have it hooked in one of the grooves. And then I'm going to push down. It works easiest for me if I hold it like this. Thumb on the curve, clip on the sharp point, and then I just hold the pin with the other hand. And this little thing just takes all the work out of it. Just don't know if I can get a better angle because okay, so here's the sharp point. This little thing has grooves on it. There's little grooves in it. Put it in the groove. Thumb on the round part. Sorry, I'm moving you around. I apologize if this is... I just want to make sure we get a good view. Okay. So I have the sharp point in one of the grooves on the clip. My thumb, this is my right hand, I'm right-handed. My thumb on the pin. I'm going to hold the head of the pin with my other hand just to keep it stable. Really, if you get really good, and I can unclip this too. A lot of times I'll unclip things with it. At least I try to. It makes it so much easier on my fingers. And then we're just going to clip away. It goes so fast when you use this little tool. If you get really good, sometimes I can do it without using both hands, but I really have to get in a groove. And I didn't pin these in the best direction. So, oh, that one's not even coming out. And then you can just go through once you get it, you know, move your body around to where you're comfortable. Highly recommend having something you can walk around. It just physically makes it easier on you. I was doing this on the floor and stuff, and my body does not like that. So get up off the floor, get on the table, and just work your way around. I dropped it. Make sure you're smooth. Try not to lay on it like I do, because then I make a wrinkle. And then Sean says he's misplaced his labels. And you had your logo. Okay. I was working on a logo today in Canva. So did you make your own logo, Sean? You're talking about the logo with is it a koala? I made a logo in Canva because I want to have shirts made with my business name and then my name on them. So when I teach classes, I can be wearing a shirt. Okay, I think all of these are pinned. Let's move these out of the way. All right. We are looking good. Now I only have like this much overhang of my quilt. So I'll be able to pin that very easily. And really, I'm about done. I gotta do this one corner. This thing makes life so nice. So I should be able to throw this up on the machine tonight. If I get my machine set up, I can start quilting. This one did not come through very well. Okay. Oh, Amanda. Okay, if you're a quilter, you must talk to yourself. I've determined that it's just a thing. Okay. No, I love it. Sean's from Australia, so I love this. I love it. I had a mate of mine. Sorry, it's hard for me to read that far away because I have my laptop set up further so you guys can see my table. Oh, nice. Had a friend make it. I wish I had that sort of talent. Yes, although I'm Katie, yes, and although I'm usually cussing at myself. I do that too. Or I call myself Amanda Lynn, which is, when you're in trouble. Yep, I do that too. Call myself, I'm like, Amanda Lynn, you know better. Well, I think I left one open. So I probably should put a few more. Let's get one. Definitely need some more on this side. And I'm sure there are people who are like, you need to measure and do so many. I ain't doing that. I'm just going all over. And you know what? It works. Katie, you don't have to cuss at yourself anymore. You got that nice new machine now. So it's not you, it's the machine. It was the machine. Oh, there it is. I knew I put one over here somewhere. Katie, what are you making pinwheels for? Just for yourself? Because you're fun? Sunny, is that the new machine? I was just thinking today, I don't know that I've really named my big Janome M8. I should. Oh, yeah. I forgot you were starting on Christmas quilts. You was a smart cookie starting on Christmas quilts now. Especially since you're making one for everybody. Everybody gets a quilt this year. You get a quilt, you get a quilt, you get a quilt. Nice. Do I get a quilt? Or do I gotta make my own? We actually have quilts to make together. We went to Missouri Star Quilt Company last fall and bought matching fabric, well, similar fabric line to make a Dresden. So she's Sunny. No, I won't make you make me a quilt. You got enough to do. I don't think everybody's getting a quilt for me this year. I don't know. Oh, I am working on something for you, Katie. You and Lindsay. So I gotta try and get those done this week too. I just can't tell you what it is. Hi, Andy. Thanks for hopping on. Just over here basting away. We were talking about quilt labels, Andy, and I know you label yours all the time. Do you buy a printed label? Sean was saying that his wife designed one in Spoonflower for him. This is the quilt that I'm donating to the auction, and I want to make sure I get a quilt label on it. So actually, we're about done. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. If you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. I reached my birthday goal of 100 subs by my birthday. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. That looks a little, there we go. Andy says, she says, I just use a Sharpie on muslin when I remember. I know, and I don't usually label my quilts outside of, I have labels I bought on Etsy that say handmade by Amanda, and then I have made with love by Mom, and something made by Grandma. Other than that, I don't put a label, but I kind of like to put a label since this is for an auction and in memory of someone. So I'd like to do that. Sorry, I'm off camera because I'm pinning over here. I'm telling you, I'm so glad I found this tool in my pins again, because this actually is going faster than spray basting, really. Honestly. And it looks so good. I just want to make sure I'm not curving my border. When I pull it too much, it kind of gets a little curve in it. I don't want that. I was excited for you to see you get 100 on your birthday. I know. Thank you, Sean. I didn't even know until you shared it in the Discord group. So thank you for that. I appreciate all the support. It's been really fun. I am really enjoying doing the YouTube lives. I really like it. As I get to talk, which I'm good at. So that's always a plus. Oh, and some exciting news about my studio. We ordered doors. So this opening is getting, they're really cool. I can't wait. Bifolding French doors with glass, frosted glass. Super excited for that. And then once I get that done, and we got pegboard the other day. Then I'm going to do a virtual tour in my studio. So I'm really excited about that. I'll do a live. Ooh, what happened there? Sorry. Oh, there we go. I'll do a live studio tour once I get everything fully done. And I'm very excited. I think it'll be really cool. I can actually get stuff done in this space. Andy says she's glad that her long arm eliminates the basting step. Long arms intimidate me. Although I did ask Katie The other day when we were at the quilt shop, I'm like, do you think one someday we'll ever have a long arm? I'm like, I don't know. I've tried one before at a quilt show eons ago. And it made me so nervous. I'm like, I'm still learning my M8. I'm still learning how to meander and quilt on that. So I'll just stick to that for now. All right. I honestly am enjoying this. Pin basting, like I said, it's going faster than the spray basting was. The last quilt I just did that I pin basted, I didn't have any issues with my machine, like gumming up or breaking a needle. I was having so many issues. Katie says, let's hope someday. We always tell everybody our husbands make us work because we can't afford ourselves otherwise. The ultimate dream. If we could just open a shop, that'd be great. Wouldn't that be great? Andy, are you working on any projects tonight? Or are you just hanging out? I've hung out with Andy a couple of nights this week. For Sunday afternoon. We don't let people rip alone. We hang out and keep them company. I'm still here. This quick clip just makes life so much better. Like I said, I'll have my Amazon storefront linked in the video description so you can get your own pins or quick clip. I love it. It turned out really good. I'm really excited to get this one quilted and get it to the family. I miss this one. Oh, I keep walking past. I missed that one too. Andy says, I already read that one. Yeah, I wouldn't have room for a long arm. I'd have to have another building to do that in. Did I get them all? I got one over here in the corner that I need to do. I did a live last night with my friend Danelle over on her channel, and then I couldn't stop sewing, so I stayed up really late, and now I'm tired. So I don't think I can stay up as late tonight. And I'm not a night person. Ask Katie. Katie knows if she texts me past like 9, she's getting a reply at like 6 a.m. I'm probably sleeping. Oh. All right. So I got a little bit of edges to pin yet, but I think for the most part, I am done. Andy says she's just hanging out, babysitting my daughter's kitten while she's out of town. That is true. Kittens and quilting don't mix. Yes, Andy is welcoming a new kitten to the house with an older cat, so they're transitioning right now. Katie says, yep, or napping. That is true. I am a napper. I will nap after work even. So that I will. Okay. I think I am quite happy with how this turned out. And I think we're going to call it a night. A couple things. Like I said, I will have my Amazon storefront linked in the description. Be sure and give me a thumbs up if you liked it. I also, let's see. I believe I'm going to start a second video every week on Sunday nights. Also, I'm starting my monthly newsletter. I'll have that ready for June 1st if you want to subscribe to my newsletter. I will have a link in my description. I have it already. I'm going to add some more to it, but I do have the majority of it done. And Is there anything else? Make sure you subscribe, click the bell to get notified when a new video is uploaded. I will be live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, unless something else happens to come up, and then I will post on my channel if I'm not going to be able to make it live, and I'll try to have something else posted. I'm quite happy with this. I think I will go get my machine set up to start quilting because I think I'm ready. It looks pretty good. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great night. We got one more day. Tomorrow's Friday. All right, thanks for joining. Have a good night.